What up, Afterbuzzers? Some ladies are sweet and some are straight up vicious. Stay tuned to the after show for Sweet Vicious.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, Afterbuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
I can't hit any of these notes.
I know, I'm not that good.
But I wish I could. How appropriate today. We are defying gravity here tonight in the Afterbuzz Studios with the Sweet Vicious Season 1, Episode 1, The Blueprint After Show. Welcome. This is going to be a very fun show and a very fun season.
Yeah.
I'm Ryan Graham, and I'm here to talk to you guys about the show today. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham, and on Instagram at Instagram. And I'm joined by my lovely co-host. You want to introduce yourself?
Yes. What's up, Afterbuzzers? I'm your host, Christine Alexis. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Christine Bean with 3 E's. I'm so stoked to be here tonight.
Perfect. Yes. So let's just dive right into Sweet Vicious. So we meet these 2 girls on Darlington's campus, and they seem to be a little bit at opposite ends of the spectrum. You have Ophelia in one corner. She's the kind of rebel, funky colored hair chick, and she's just kind of doing her own thing, and she we find out that she's like a rich kid, and she's just kind of like, yeah, my parents are major donors, and she's also like a drug dealer. There's so many things.
I know. She straight up she was just crushing up at the store. I was like, okay.
Yeah, out in the open. I'm like, whoa, okay. Like, I don't know what kind of school this is. I don't even feel like they were on campus when they were doing that. So.
Yeah, I think they were at the record store actually, but that's still super hot.
Yeah, she was just
being real hot.
So she's just this rebel, and she just like doesn't care, and she does her own thing. So we get to meet her and kind of see her go through her troubles with campus security, and we find out that if she gets into one more infringement, Barton, the security guard, is going to like oust her. But we also find out that she's like this really cool like hacking.
Yeah, she's super smart.
Yeah, I have no kind of computer skills, so I like to, whenever I see someone like that, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know. I think I'm always in admiration of someone who's like technically smart. Cause
Me
I
too.
Have none of those.
I'm like pretty okay. I can use my iPhone, but my coding pretty much stopped after MySpace ended. So that was it.
Wow, can we pause and talk about MySpace? The first little taste of
right?
coding.
We didn't even know what we were doing back then. It just like, ooh, I want my top 5 to look like this.
Exactly.
And it's like we could have like coded the next app or something.
If only. If I only knew then to like spend more time on MySpace, then I'm like, Mom, I'm developing an app. I'm doing my future. Leave me alone.
Right?
But apparently that's what Ophelia did. She must have been like a MySpace queen.
Yeah.
Like,
her page was probably lit.
Right? So we meet her, and then by default, I don't know if that's the best way to say that, we also meet her best friend, Harris. So Harris is this character that is kind of her sidekick, for lack of a better term, and he's a law student and acts as her lawyer when she's in trouble with campus security. He kind of strolls in and he's like, my client won't talk to you. And so it's kind of funny to see this dynamic. And I think it's cool that it's a black guy who is this smart law student, because I feel like he could have easily just not have been a black character, and everything doesn't have to be about race, but I just always love to see black characters be
strong.
Yeah, be strong and be outside of these stereotypical black characters.
I was just going to say, he could have easily just been the token who just like throws in a like pop culture reference here and there for laughs, or like is super just, one end of the spectrum, but he seems like a pretty like well-rounded character. I really want to get to know him better. I mean, already he's super funny.
He is. I love the relationship, because he's this law student and she's just rolling up right in front of him, and he's just like, really? Come on. Like,
yeah, but he wasn't being like pretentious about it.
No,
he was just being like real, like,
come on.
Yeah, like just chill out.
No, you're right. It's like, because he wasn't trying to like shut her down or be like, well, you can be better. He's just like, really, like, you want to do this out in the open in front of us?
Yeah,
so.
He's looking out.
Yeah. So, and then the other main character that we meet tonight is Jules. And so she is, we find out, this vigilante who's a member of the Zeta Zeta Psi House. So she is living this double life where by day she's this sorority girl who kind of plays into that whole role of like, oh yeah, sisters and that kind of stereotypical sorority girl life.
Yeah.
But at night she's this like badass butt-kicking woman who's just on the streets just beating dudes up,
kicking ass, taking names.
Exactly. So
for real.
So it's really cool to kind of see this internal conflict between her. And then her sisters find out that she's lying, or not that she's lying, that she is on academic probation. And so they're like opening her mail, which I thought was weird. If someone was like,
I know, that was so weird to me. I mean, even at home, I used to freak out when my mom would open my mail, even if there was like nothing in it. I'm like, Mom, it's mine. Like, I guess that whole like sisters or blood type thing. No, I mean,
I still
yeah. What if you got like an F or something? You don't need everyone seeing that. Right. It's so bad.
If I wanted you to know, you would know. So like, but in her sorority, we also meet a couple of other people who play into her. So we meet Mackenzie, who's like the type A. She's the one who actually opened her mail. She seems like she's gonna be the character this season to be kind of like
so annoying.
Yeah, she's always gonna be. Oh, so she'd be like she's rubbing this like anxiety lotion.
Is she like the house mom?
Basically, yeah. I don't think she is, but that's kind of what she's acting like. She might as well be the house mom. And then we also meet Kennedy, who it seems like her and Jules have this best friend type of relationship. So they are throwing this speakeasy party in the sorority house, which I think is kind of cool because I don't know, I've never been to a sororities party, like not at their house. I mean,
I've been to like sorority fraternity joint like mixers.
Right.
I've never actually just been to like one like sorority thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be cool. I think that's kind of a fun thing. I think the only other thing I've seen that happen, it was like Neighbors 2.
Yeah.
Like when they're like
that was on another level.
Yeah, that was like beyond sorority parties. That was like stuff was nuts.
I know. I didn't see Zac Efron chilling in there, so maybe it wasn't that.
Right.
You know.
Oh, maybe. God, can we hope for a Zac Efron
a cameo? Maybe.
Please, if you are watching out there, please let's get Zac Efron on Sweet Vicious. We need him. We need him.
Need that.
So we also meet Nate's character, and that is Kennedy's boyfriend. And like, so when we first meet him, and like, so it was Kennedy, Nate, and then it was Jules, and they were like walking together. Then that felt weird to me. Did you?
Yeah, there was a palpable tension in the air. I mean, aside from the fact that Jules was kind of just third wheeling it while Kennedy and Nate were like making out, which I thought was so weird. There was definitely a palpable tension. You could tell she just physically recluse, like she just felt so uncomfortable, and I was so intrigued. I'm like, what's going on there? Why are they like that?
Right. We later end up finding out why.
Oh yeah.
And we can get to that in a little bit. But yeah, so like it was weird. As soon as he walks up, she recoiled, and it was like, ooh, this is weird. Something else is going on. And so we end up finding out. So on campus there's a string of robberies, and we find out in the first scene that the vigilante, who we find out is Jules, is threatening these boys who have committed sex crimes on campus. And so she tells them to claim that they got robbed so they don't ever admit that there is someone on campus attacking people. So that's how people are getting robbed, but in actuality it is Jules in disguise attacking boys, which I kind of think is a cool thing. I feel like this is an extreme method to handle the sexual violence on campus, but I don't know.
I think she's perfectly sweet and vicious.
Yes,
I think it's appropriately titled. Good one on that. Yeah. I mean, just even, before we got started with the show, just researching it, I was thinking about Brock Turner and just other cases, and like trying to really put myself in the mindset of what these women may feel like who have been victims of sexual assault. And I mean, MTV makes it into some sort of entertainment, which is all great and everything, but it's such a bigger, large, like underlying issue, especially on school campuses.
Oh my gosh, it's so topical and so relevant in this moment. And I think it's awesome that MTV is tackling this issue in such a
absolutely,
like, it's not a light issue, but they find the perfect blend of this is funny and this is like,
and this is real.
Yeah. It really is a big issue, and like I feel like it's a conversation that we as millennials or people in general need to be having, because I don't think people talk about it. I don't think people really understand what rape is, and not even like less than that, like sexual assault is, because you don't have to. Sexual assault is a lot of things that I don't think people even realize that they're doing.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where, like, unless it happens to you or someone you're close to, it can easily, I don't want to say easily, but it's something that you can kind of put away and like put yourself 2 degrees away from, like, well, it didn't happen to me, like it sounds sad to hear, but when you're that close to it or have been a victim of it, that's when it becomes really real, and those people deserve a platform for their stories to be told.
Right. And then all too often their stories don't get told. I remember, like, when I was researching the show, Ophelia and Jules, the actresses that play them, Taylor Dearden and then Eliza Bennett, they play Jules and Ophelia. They researched break culture on campuses, and then they watched a documentary, The Hunting Ground. Have you seen that?
I haven't. I gotta write that down. The Hunting Ground.
It's deep. Like, so it goes through a lot of different sexual assault cases on campuses throughout the United States, and how like there was some astronomical number of them that don't get reported, or the school.
So many don't get reported.
Yeah. Or the school tries to cover it up. Even worse, like there were so many girls who did come forward, and the school tried to like sweep it under the rug because it was an athlete, or they were like, we don't want this type of attention on our school.
This happens all too often.
Yeah, it's sad. And that's one of the lines that Jules has. She's like, we can't go to the cops. So we end up, there's one victim that Ophelia ends up joining in the vigilantism, if that's a word.
Yeah.
And so she's attacking Carter. Jules is attacking Carter, and he's getting the best of her, and he's like choking her out. And it looks like this might be the last we see of Jules.
Yeah.
And then Ophelia comes up out of nowhere. And like
with the hammer,
yeah,
just like,
oh my god, like what? That was nuts. Such a gory show.
Yeah,
like,
and then like pink vomit all over him. I was like,
your DNA is everywhere. That's what I was thinking.
No, I thought
DNA.
about that too. I was like, might have went out to do that somewhere else, or just like hold it in.
Yeah, like that. My first thought was like, okay, you're caught because you're all over this crime scene.
I mean, but thank God she showed up. I mean, kind of cliche, but in the nick of time because
we don't know what that'll go. End of Sweet Vicious theory and scene. So
yeah, but you know, also that scene is super telling because while she's being choked out, we get those flashbacks of a scene in the past with Nate,
right?
Which explains their awkwardness.
Yeah,
but I mean, wow,
that was nuts to me. So like, we do get that tidbit of information, which I feel like this episode gave us so much all at once. So now that we already know that going in, I feel like I don't understand how she can. Well, I can see how she can still be friends with Kennedy, but I don't understand how she can let Kennedy date him because I know, like, if I found out that my friend's boyfriend was cheating on him or her, I'd be pissed, and I'm like, you're not dating him anymore.
Yeah,
let alone he attacked me.
Friends don't let friends date rapists. It just doesn't.
What?
Hashtag don't let your friends do that. I mean, it's probably too long, but
no,
just like
it's the right type of hashtag.
Yeah, wow. Now that you bring that up, it's like that's her best friend, and she's always like kissing him and all over him, and like, oh God, how do you deal?
I don't know. I think that's going to be definitely something that plays out. We saw a little bit of it in the preview.
Yeah.
That seems to be something that comes up. Because I'm like, but then again, I don't know. I am not a victim of sexual assault, so I don't know. But I'm just like, I cannot imagine not wanting to tell my best friend. Even if I didn't go to the police, I would at least be like, hey, this is something I want you to know. And let alone, even if it just happened to me, but this is who you are with. This is who you are lying down in bed with. I don't want him to do this to you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I mean, even just touching on that, it's like, I guess we'll find out over the course of the season, but I'm really curious to know, like, how that played out, how they got into that situation, and what happened when she did try and report it, because when she was talking about it with Ophelia, she was like, police don't do anything, you know? So I'm curious to know, like, you know, did she have experience where she tried to report it and no one believed her? Was this before Nate and Kennedy started dating? Like, just how the dynamics of, like, got to that point where that literally was a catalyst for her to want to be a vigilante.
Right.
You know, like, I want to know how that happened.
Yeah, and I think that what you brought up is very important. Was this during Nate and Kennedy's relationship, or was this before? Like, I think regardless, there still needs to be some type of intervention, but, like, I feel like it's even worse if they were together and this happened. Like, whoa. But yeah, so I'm definitely excited to see where that comes, how that plays out. So we also meet one more character, sweet old Tyler. I don't know why I called him sweet, but like,
he's super sweet. He's so cute too.
He was so adorable.
His smile.
Like, he was laying down all the moves. And was like, oh wait, I didn't catch your name. And it's like you could tell that Jules was just really feeling it. She was
I was right there with her, like, hi. Hi.
Yeah, good. I'm pretty sure that was a line from the show. Wow. I didn't realize that you were playing Jules. Awesome.
I mean, you know, I just put on a blonde wig.
Exactly.
And then, you know.
No, but I really was so excited and into this relationship. And she's like, Ophelia's like, oh, did you get the number? Because obviously she's drunk. Because this is what I feel like this is going to be a recurring thing for Ophelia to be.
I love it though.
I do too. Oh, I'm
super
so here
comedic
for
humor.
I'm so here for her. So he hands Jules his phone, and what? It's like, no, his stepbrother is Carter, the guy they just killed. That's nonsense.
I know. I mean, just a few moments before, she asked him like what he was doing there, and he said, "I'm waiting for my stepbrother, who's almost always like at least 30 minutes late." I mean, but homeboy's not coming. He's not coming. That's oh god.
That's nuts. Like when that came out, I was like, oh, how's this gonna play out? Because I was really into their relationship, and we learned through the exchange when they accidentally killed Carter. Jules is like, no, I don't kill people. Like that's not her thing. She hurts guys and she'll like cut them up, but she doesn't kill them. She just wants them to learn from what they did, and this is very final. So that is going to be a very interesting thing to see how that plays out, because I really want them to work, but how do you...
I know.
How are they going to work with
I mean, we see through a little bit of teasers throughout the promo that, you know, they're obviously going to keep seeing each other. Right. There's going to be a point where she has to tell him, and part of me kind of wants him to, like, join them, and it'd be like a little, like, trio. Yeah, and, like, he, you know, she can be
the head of it, like the
what was I gonna say? Yeah, Ophelia can be like the techie person.
Yeah.
Nate can be, you know, I guess part of the brawn and the muscle along with Jules, and you know, or be their cover.
A super team. And then Harris will be there. He'll get him out of all of it.
Yeah, there you go. And he'll be like, this is where your loopholes are.
Yeah, this is how you get out of it.
You need to get away from this.
He'll get his Annalise Keaton on How to Get Away with Murder.
Ooh, good reference.
That's what I hope.
Yeah.
That's what I hope Harris does.
Might be too perfect, though.
Maybe, I know. We'll see. And the one other thing that I when I was researching the show, Stacey Shear is the executive producer for it, and she has worked on several Quentin Tarantino films, which explains the blood.
That explains, and just the very sharp cutting scenes of the blood and the action, and just that's a really great observation. Wow.
Because it was very gory and very quick, and I was like, what is, and I was like, okay, that explains it.
I like that.
No, because when she cut his Achilles tendon, I hit the mic, I'm sorry for that, everyone who's listening to the podcast. When she cut his leg, we both jumped back like, oh, whoa.
I know.
It was just so gory. So that was like a really interesting, but yeah, so Stacey Shear, she is the reason for all of the blood and gore. So that is your fun fact for the day. We are almost out of time, but I think we have a little bit of time for predictions. So we did see the promo.
Your Afterbuzz TV predictions.
So, what do you think? What are a couple of your predictions for the rest of the season? Is there a character that you are drawn to right now?
I am definitely drawn to Jules because, like I said, I want to know about what happened in her past experiences, what led her to get to this point. I mean, when her and Ophelia were talking about their backgrounds, you know, she alluded to the fact that she obviously went through something traumatic, which led her to do the things that she does. But where did she learn how to fight like that? Right. That's what she didn't even let on.
And how fast? Because I feel like this did happen very shortly. Like that was a quick karate
really
lesson.
Quick turnaround. Yeah, so I predict that that we're just gonna learn more about that, and I think that she's gonna get kicked out of her sorority. I don't think her friendship with Kennedy is going to last. I just from the way they're playing out in the promo, I don't think that she's gonna be able to really believe that Nate did that. I mean, she seems like she believes in Jules so much that it might be a little bit much for her to understand. So I'm curious to know how their relationship is going to play out.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but that makes sense. I could totally see them having a lot of rift between them because Jules is obviously lying about something, so why would she believe her over her boyfriend, who has, at least at this point, not given Kennedy a reason to not believe her? So yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah. What about you?
I do feel like Harris is going to come into this fold. I think that they're going to keep him on the outskirts. And, like, he won't absolutely know what they're doing, but he's going to catch on. Because I feel like him being a law student, like, I don't think he's, like, he's a smart cookie. So I feel like he's going to catch on to what they're doing and, like, be like, okay. He's going to be their, like, legal eagle and, like, he's going to get them out of all this stuff.
I think he'll be someone they can trust.
Yeah, because the car did get taken. So they parked the car with the dead body at this bar, and it's gone when they leave. So I'm assuming it got towed, but I'm like, what are you going to do about this body that's decomposing in the back? So I feel like Harris is going to come and save them in that time because I just don't know how else they're going to get out of it because that's kind of nuts. I don't know. So, yeah. Any other predictions for today?
Hopefully more Wicked references.
Yes. Oh my
that was
God.
so cute. Oh my God. It was such a like girl power moment in a weird way, like trying to break the silence. And they're like, oh, let's put on music. Oh, we just killed somebody. What are you going to do?
Awkward.
Yeah. What's good like mood music, you know? And then like
and Wicked.
Wicked comes on.
I love that immediately took them out of the situation and they were like, yeah, okay, Wicked. Let's belt this out in the middle of the road while we have this dead body in the back. Because, you know, it's Wicked. You don't not sing.
I know. It totally took us out of our element. We're like watching and then we're like, I think I'm
Yes.
Sorry, I won't.
No, please. I'm here for it. We became Elphaba and oh my God, why can't I think of her name? Glinda with a ga. So yes. Oh no, good. Okay. Well, that is all the time we have today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be with us next Tuesday and we will have another episode of Sweet Vicious and all of the Vigilante Justice. You can find me on Twitter at Ryan with 2 N's Graham and on Instagram at Instagram.
And you can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
Awesome. And make sure to like us on Facebook, retweet us, and do all of that on iTunes. Share us and make sure you give us all of your comments on YouTube and everything. We really appreciate it, and we will be with you for the rest of the season. Thank you all for tuning in. See ya.
See ya.
Executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Afterbuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the Afterbuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterbuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of Afterbuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of Afterbuzz TV or its owners or principals.